Huh?
I'm talking. I'm thinking out loud.
Let me change my setting on here.
Okay.
Let me change my setting on here.
It's raining up here.
Is it?
Yeah, it's been raining. Like we had like a small tornado, but it was downriver, like which is like 20 miles from my house.
Hmm.
But I work downriver. Um, so they got like a lot of down trees, no power. Like my power never goes out.
Okay, so we'll get started. Hello and welcome back to Bold and Beautiful Voices. I'm your host, Felicia, and today's guest is Felicia from Detroit, Michigan. I'm excited about
Okay.
today's topic. It's much needed. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. Welcome, Felicia.
Welcome. Hi. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. So before we get started, I always like to do a mental health check-in. So on a scale 1 to 10, with 1 being the least, 10 being the most, where's your mental right now?
Hi, 10.
10.
Girl, 10.
And that's great. I would say I'm about a 8.
I try to keep it on 10. You know how I learned how to do that? Not worry about stuff that I can't change.
Amen. So when you're not having a so good day and your mental is low, what are some things that you do?
When I'm not having a good day,
Mhm.
you know, I'm telling you, my biggest thing when I feel myself getting irritated is music. I
Mhm.
have music on it, every chance I get. Music, any type of music, to all music, any music, not just like gospel or R&B. I don't listen to any of the new stuff, but music helps me. But sometimes when I feel myself getting irritated or low on patience or anything, it's music.
Yeah. The new stuff is kind of like rough sometimes, but the beat be good.
Sometimes it's the beat, but I try not to listen to it because everything is about sex and drugs. I'm like,
And
it's more to sing.
money.
Right? It's more to sing about than that. Oh my God.
I know I like good the 90s, early 2000 R&B. Like I can just turn that on and I can just vibe all day in the house, just relaxing, just cleaning up and cooking. So most definitely the music has changed a lot.
Yeah, a whole lot.
Yes, yes. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Felicia?
Well, let's see. I turned 58 about a month ago.
Mm,
I have,
you look good.
thank you. I have four adult kids, 40, 38, 36, and 32. 10 grandkids, 319, 115, 115, 114, 29, 111,
Mhm.
and a 1 7 and a newborn.
Okay. You
Three,
look
six
great to
girls.
be 58.
Thank you.
Girl,
Six girls and
around,
four boys.
honey. You look good, baby.
Hey, laughter is the key to is the fountain of youth is laughter. Gotta
Yes.
find humor in everything.
Yes, you do. And I've just learned that with being almost in this world for almost 40 years.
Yep.
Sometimes you
That-
just gotta laugh it off.
Yep. You gotta find the humor in every situation and try to stay as positive as you can, which is one thing that I love about you, that you're always positive.
Let me tell
Always.
you something about that. It'd be hard. I'm not even gonna lie. It'd be so hard for me to always remain positive when I want to react. But I have to look at myself in the mirror and say, Felicia, you are so much better than responding. Like internet beef, all that back and forth, you've never seen me on the internet doing that. And I'll never do that because I'm not gonna lower myself like that. Like I've
Yep.
learned to laugh things off, as you say, just laugh about it because I know the real story. Whoever that person is spreading the rumor know the real story, and God knows the real story. So at this point in my life, I have no reason to have to explain anything to
Yep.
nobody about anything.
And the best thing about that is what somebody think about you ain't your business.
It's
That's
not
their
my business.
business,
It
not your
don't pay not
business.
one bill.
Right, put nothing on your table. Hey, my
Yes.
my strategy for that, the three F's. They ain't thieves, financing, and you know what the other F is. You're irrelevant.
Amen.
You're
Your
irrelevant.
opinion about me has nothing to do
Right.
about me.
Nothing to do with you. It's not my business about what you think about me.
Amen.
Hey,
Amen. So, Felicia, how has your day been so far today? Anything exciting happen?
no, because this was my third day of vacation and I didn't do anything. I left the house this morning for about an hour and came back and I've been in the house just enjoying not having to be up early and busy.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't get that opportunity that often to do that.
Yes.
So
So, how early you get up and start your day?
2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I
My
just
day
be going to
starts
sleep seriously at two
my,
o'clock in the morning, and I'll be
my
get
day
right back up at
starts
6.
no, my day starts at 2 o'clock in the morning and right now, because I'm low seniority, I'm a driver for UPS.
Okay.
So when it's not busy and they don't have enough routes, I preload. I preload trucks. So
Okay.
I work one job and then I got an 8 hour job after that.
Okay.
So my day starts at 2 o'clock in the morning every day.
Okay. So, what is the first thing you do to start your day off right?
In the morning, most important, I thank God for another day because somewhere somebody younger than me didn't make it.
Yes.
So that's
And
the
you know
most
what?
important thing.
And you know one thing about that, that is like no matter where you are in life and what you're going through, waking up, getting another chance at another day is the biggest blessing.
Yep.
Like
I don't think people.
I tell people we're all granted the same 24 hours in a day. It's up
Yep.
to you what you do with it.
Yep,
And
and you can't be mad about somebody else doing something or they got off their butt and hustle and got what they got because they did what they needed to do to get what they wanted. So you
yes,
can't be mad on
amen.
nobody but yourself because it appears that in today's world everybody has a sense of entitlement and
Mhm.
nobody owes anybody nothing. You're responsible for what you got, don't have, what you do, don't do. You're responsible for that. It's nobody else's
Yes,
responsibility to help you out.
I agree. I totally
Yeah.
agree.
Well,
What's your
and I
favorite way to relax after a long day?
my new deck in the backyard with my radio and a glass of wine.
Oh, girl, I love me a glass. I haven't had a glass of wine in about I would say 60 days because I've been on like this strict diet with
Uh
trying to
huh.
lose this weight, and just getting better overall health because the older we get, the harder it is to get the weight off of you.
Girl, tell
And
me about
but
it. Tell
next
me about it.
week, Imma have me a lot of glass of wine, okay?
Now, I only get to do it one day out the week, and that's Saturday
Saturday.
because Sunday I don't work on Sunday,
Mhm.
and I'm normally off by 9 o'clock in the morning. So Saturday afternoon is my day. Like whatever I got, I do in the morning. I come home like I'm not doing nothing else.
Mhm.
So that Saturday is my day.
Felicia, what is one thing people might be surprised to learn about you?
That I have OCD really bad. They'd be surprised that I'm not gonna say I'm a neat freak. I'm not gonna say that, but if say you have I have something on the table and it's crooked, I gotta make it straight. I have OCD really bad.
Really? What side of the family did you get that from?
I don't know because I have OCD really really bad. Like in my truck, it got just the thing got to be turned straight. I really it's so like petty things, but it's a big thing to me, and that's the biggest thing is that I have OCD. But then like when my kids or my grandkids come over, I
Mhm.
do everything I can to not have it. Like let them just do whatever, and then I fix it back when they leave. So
Good
that's
girl,
what I've
you
been working on the past year is to when they come over, do whatever y'all want to. I don't care.
girl, I let these kids on the weekend, I'll be like, "Y'all just run. Whenever you get done," I have my grandkids over here, and I have my kids. "When y'all get done, y'all gonna clean up." And I'll be right on the
Mhm.
couch watching a good old TV show.
Yeah, that's my biggest. That's the thing you'd be most surprised about than my OCD habit.
Wow. That must have skipped me because 'cause I'm not OCD. So, Felicia, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be right now?
Right now, Alaska, because I would like to
Alaska.
see. Yep, I would like to see a whale in real life.
Mm,
A whale. That's my. Everything else on my bucket list, I've done. Believe it or not. So my last thing I want to do is go to Alaska and see a whale.
Okay. I got a long list of bucket lists that I'm just not starting to cross out.
I'm gonna tell you,
But
cross them out.
I guess that's the new chapter of my life where I'm at right now.
Yep, cross them out because tomorrow is not promised, and I can't believe how many of the things that I ever wanted to do that I've gotten a chance to do.
Mhm.
And I
That's
and
a
a
great
lot,
feeling.
every time I think, I'll be like, wow, I did a lot of stuff. I did a lot.
I guess with me it was a lot of fear.
Yep,
Like fearing like something's going to happen or all kind of fear, but as I got deeper into God and start praying and just asking him to remove that fear from me, things start getting better for me.
yep. And you know what? A thing I learned to do is to do it by myself. If you wait on people,
Mhm.
you'll never get it done. I
No.
used to run every day, 10 miles a day.
I know.
That's a bit excessive. I used to run every day. And then I started signing up for like these marathons and stuff, and I would just get in my car and drive by myself and go. Go to the marathon, come back home. I even started running out of state, whatever. And I thought if I wait on somebody else to do it with me, I'm never gonna get it done. So
Yes.
I just started doing things. I went on a cruise by myself.
Really?
By myself, I went on a cruise.
So is running, are you going to try to implement that back into your schedule?
So because with standing on concrete
Mhm.
and wearing work boots and running, I developed plantar fasciitis, and it
Mhm.
comes from excessive running and or standing on concrete, and I was doing both. So I
Okay.
couldn't walk around barefooted. My feet hurt that bad.
Oh my.
So what I had to do, it took me 6 months. It took me 6 months for my feet to stop hurting. So once
Mhm.
that stopped hurting, I had to let running go because I work early morning hours anyway, and most runs are in the morning.
Okay.
So
See,
running, that's how I've managed to gain 40 pounds.
let me tell you, I first started my fitness journey when I was after I had Alasia. Because
Hmm.
keep in mind, it was a big gap in between my Yasmin and Alasia. And when I had her, I was so unsatisfied with my weight. And my baby daddy used to always tell me, "Well, if you don't like it, do something about it." So he started buying me all this exercise equipment and things like that. And so I got heavy into it or whatever. And like I love it now. Like if I miss a workout, I really feel bad like I've let myself down because I
Yep,
missed the workout. And like, some days I don't lift weight. I just do cardio. But it's just my way of releasing things because I don't have a lot of people that I let into my world. So going to the gym, working out, leaving it there is like the best therapy for me.
yep. And you know how much stress you can relieve working out. Like that's why I used to run.
Mhm.
Just running, even if you ran a mile, you'd be surprised how much thinking you can do and you can get off your mind with running. So
Yeah.
exercise do the same thing for me because I was excessive with the working out too.
Yes, most definitely.
Because I see a lot of the stuff that I have, you got too.
Yes.
Like the boxing thing, the what you call that thing, the maxi climber.
Yes, let me tell you something. If you want a good workout, you get on that. I love that. I go in the
Yeah,
garage. That garage is so hot, and like at nighttime when I've had a long stressful day, I'll go in there for about 20 minutes, and I come back inside the house, and I'm just dripped with sweat everywhere. So most
yeah.
definitely. So
I
Felicia,
got that.
what's the best piece of advice that you've received?
That I've received is that you teach people how to treat you by what you allow. A friend told me that about maybe 4 years ago because something was going on. She was like, "You teach people how to treat you by what you allow. If you don't speak up at the moment of a situation and you take, then you have already taught them what you're going to allow." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's that,
Mhm.
I guess the best example, this is probably a poor example, but say you had a mate that just cheated all the time and you just kept constantly taking them back, forgiving and taking them back. You taught him how to treat you because or she'll take me back
Yes.
or he'll take me back. You know what I mean? So if you nip something in the bud and you stop it right there and there, people will know what they can and cannot do, what your boundaries are. And I
Yes.
think that's been my worst thing my entire life is that I've accepted so much from so many people because in my mind I'm always thinking, oh, I gotta get to heaven, I gotta do right. Well, God gave you common sense too. So you have to learn how to decipher what you're gonna take and what you're not gonna take. You know what I mean? What's
Yes.
being right, what's not being right. Because he gave
Yes.
you common sense too.
And I totally agree with you, and you teach people how to treat you. So for me, where I'm at now, like you got 2 strikes. And if you can't get it right, you're out because of what I'm not gonna do is go back and forth. I'm not finna teach you how to treat me. You get what I'm
That
saying?
right,
That's common
right.
sense for everybody. So we're gonna dive into our topic, family, getting to the bottom of it. So all family have issues. Some good, some bad, whatever the case may be. So what are some of the common problems in your family that you're having right now?
Not communicate. Like
Commu-
something goes on or something happens, you just sweep it under the rug, get mad and stop and don't say anything to the person. And then there's tension when you're around the person, whatever, instead of just saying, hey, let's talk about this or whatever. I think that's one of the biggest things. And I think that comes from, believe it or not, it's a generation of dysfunction.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Parents are not always right, and we have to stop thinking that we're always right. And when you have multiple kids, you have to teach your kids how to not only love each other, but like each other. Because
exactly.
if you start that out small, where they support each other, they do things together. You can't have where you this one over here act like this, oh let the be. No, you have to teach your kids how to get along because as they grow older, they'll keep that. But if you consistently they're small, they're bickering, you never stop the bickering. Guess what? The older they get, the more they're gonna bicker. The
Ex-
more they're gonna not like each other because now they're older and got their own personalities. And no matter what you say, they're gonna always bicker and not get along.
mhm.
You know what I mean?
And
So the one thing,
I totally
go ahead.
agree with communication. That is poor in our family. And I wish there was a better way that we can kind of work on it without someone always thinking that, oh, she thinks that she's better than me or
I was about to say the same thing. Somebody think that you think you better. Why is that we just want to get along as a family? And
mhm,
I'm putting forth the idea
mhm,
because you all want to sit back here with your arms folded and your eyes rolling instead of just looking at the big picture. Hey, that's my cousin. I ain't seen in 15 years. How about we playing something or whatever? But I think it's so much of that dysfunction because it does nobody puts a stop to it, and the ones who put the stop to it automatically they start thinking that you think you're better. You
yes,
know what I mean? You think you're better than me or whatever. I can't tell you the number of times I've heard somebody say to me, "You think your kid's better?" No, I don't think my kid's better. I want my kids to have a normal childhood and
yes,
not a shitty childhood like I had.
mhm,
So I want them to know that kids can live. This may be the wrong words to use, but that Huxtable family setting where it's normal. You know
mhm,
what I mean? It's not uh, drugs over here, cussing and yelling over here, disrespect. Where it's just a normal family where you get up, hey, good morning, how you doing? Hey, you greet each other.
mhm,
Or there's nothing wrong with it. I can't tell you, Lisa. I can't ever tell you if my mama ever said I love you to me ever.
mhm. Your mom?
If, yeah, if she did, I don't remember. Or just hugging you just because. You know what I mean? And you would think something as small as that wouldn't make a big difference, but I think it does because in your kids, your parents are your first hero and role model.
Mhm,
You think your parent can do no wrong. Your parent is the best thing. But so if you're like this, well, that's the only role model that you have.
mhm.
So what do you do?
So do you think that came from her parents not showing her? love, like teaching her how to love so she can pass it on to you to be able how to properly love you?
Honestly, from the little bit that I've seen, I think so. Not Lord rest her soul, but say nothing negative about Mama Lily because I lived with her for the first 7 years of my life.
Mhm.
That's who I knew. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And
Mhm.
then when you go live with somebody who you first time you meeting in 7 years, and she says to you, "You're too big to call me mama. My name is Ernestine." That's the first thing a person says to you. No hug, no hey, no nothing. You a 7 year old kid. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? Then you have to go from there.
Yes.
So that's how it was basically.
And the way you express yourself, like for me, my kids don't say love you because I don't say that. That's no action, but behind love you. It's I love you.
Right.
That's the proper way to say it. I love you. So, when I talk to certain family members and they be like, love you, and I just be like, what? It's I love you. And, some take offense of it. But if you mean it, you will put that I love you. You put the I in front of love. You get what I'm saying? And I just think
Agreed.
it comes with a lot of upbringing, you know,
Agreed.
upbringing.
In my opinion, I feel like most people talk about respect. I think respect is earned. It's not an automatic given. Just
Yeah.
because I'm 15 years older than you, I can still be disrespectful. You're an adult, and I should treat you as such. And I think respect is an earned thing. It's not just given. I'm not
Mhm.
going to respect you just because you're older than me. You're disrespectful. You're not about to talk to me any kind of way either.
Exactly.
And I think
Exactly.
that's what people get to that point is that once you become adults, and even with kids, you don't have to always talk at kids. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You can talk to a child and say, hey, why did you do that? Whatever. Now, I can see if the little kid done did something that's just ridiculous. Okay, different story. But you don't have to talk to kids. You don't have to always yell at them or scream at them. You can talk to them
Yeah,
or
and
whatever.
I had that bad with, my second born, my daughter. She's 23, no children, but, she's been through some hard times, and we really just recently just sat down and talked about, different things because you try to guide your children to do the right thing because you don't want them to make the same mistake that you have made or whatever. And I was so bad at I told you so. I was so bad at everybody's not your friend. Stop thinking people is always your friend. And she would come to me. So I learned that I was shutting her down from telling me stuff and also with yelling at her. So now when we're talking and I find myself getting angry and want to say, I told you so, you should have listened to me. I'll be like, okay, baby, I'll call you back in a little bit, because I don't want to mentally abuse her. You know,
Yeah,
it affects her, it's one of her triggers that send her anxiety up the roof, and she's, mentioned that to me, so I try not to do that to her now. But I be like, "God dang it, like, won't you just listen to what I'm saying? You won't go through all this stuff that you're going through if you just listen to me." But
but
I'll counsel
sometimes experience is the best teacher. Sometimes you gotta let them go through it. Let them see.
yes, and I hate that. When I tell you I hate having to sit there and watch them go through some stuff, and they come to me, even my older son, we talk about a lot. Some of the things that we talk about, I'm like, "You comfortable with talking to me about this?" But, they have to learn. They
Yep,
have to
yep.
learn.
And
Can you
that's one
share
thing I
about
learned.
Go
Huh,
ahead.
what you say, Lisa?
Go
One
ahead.
thing I learned from my son who was 32. I never forget. He was a little boy. He had to be like maybe 5 or younger. But I said he asked me one day, "Do I where we going?" I had said like, "Get your shoes. Come on, let's go." And I think he said, "Where we going?" And I said, "Don't worry about it. Just get your stuff and come on." And
Mhm.
my son said, "Mama, can I say something?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "You said all those words. Don't worry about it. Just get your stuff and come on." When you could have just said 2 words, 3 words to the store. And I
Yep.
promise you, ever since he told me that, I had to think about that. He right. I did not have to say all those extra words. I could have
Yes.
just said answer the question that he asked me
Mhm.
and been done with it. And I tell him now all the time. I said I learned from you that day that you don't have to always say so much extra stuff. Just answer the question and keep it moving.
And that's
And
me.
when
I
you,
struggle with that. I'll be like, "Where we going, mama? Just get in the car and go." But I had to slow down and say, "Okay, well, we're gonna go to Walmart or we're gonna go to Target." But in the back of my head, either you put your shoes on or you stay home. But, you know, I stopped doing that. So we're gonna dig a little deeper. Can you share a family problem that's a challenge right now for you?
is that my kids treat my ex-husband, which is their father, like like they interact with him better than they do with me.
Mhm,
You know what I mean? And it's like when they were younger, I was the one who got up and got the four kids ready for school, drop them off, whatever they had to do, I did it. Whereas he just got up and got himself ready and went to work. So I was the disciplinary. I was the
mhm.
one who get up, do this, do that, whatever. So now it's like now they're grown. He get all of the that's my daddy. He this, he that, whatever, and I don't get anything. And at
So
first, I'm not gonna lie, it bothered me, but it doesn't anymore.
have you guys
I'm like, no,
had a family discussion about it?
yeah, and the answer is no, we don't. But they don't see it, and I said, so you know what? It's okay. I have to accept it. I can't change it. It is what it is. So I stopped talking about it because every time I try to talk about it, it's we don't do that. But yes, but they do it. I just don't talk about it anymore. I just let it go.
Yes.
So
So have you had a conversation with him about it?
no, because we cannot get along. We've been for 17 years, and I can realize I don't have to get along with him. You know what I mean? I don't have to. We divorced. I don't even have to talk to you anymore. So I just got there this year with that. I don't have to see or talk to you. It's nothing to talk about because he's in denial too.
Yes. And, we
So
all have been in denial. So let me ask you something. So how do you feel about family going back and forth on Facebook with
I
that
think
topic?
that's a horrible thing to do because why would you invite a bunch of strangers into your business like that and then but get upset with and then of course the people who you're friendly with are gonna side with that person and not know the whole story and the people that you're friendly with are gonna come in and say things and there's a whole back and forth because my thing is who are you proving that to because if you can't now my to me you type it out on Facebook, you might as well have said it to me.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna let you say something to me on Facebook and I see it, then I see you in person and everybody all tight lip. Now nobody will have anything to say. No, you said to me you on that you type it out, you might as well have said it to me. That's how I feel. And
Yeah,
I think
a lot of people
huh?
hide behind the keyboard.
Yeah,
And
they keyboard thugs
yes, that's what I call them too. And I think if you can't express yourself, you're never gonna get to the root of the problem.
ever.
And
And
if
then what if it's so bad that you're concerned with someone, what they're doing, that you're posting about it or whatever? See, I don't think people realize when envy and jealousy comes aboard. It don't matter. You can say I'm not all you want to, but
Mhm.
all those negative posts and speaking on stuff says something differently. Yeah, but yes, you are.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I recently had a altercation. Well, I wouldn't say an altercation, a conversation with a family member that um, we was tight, just talking and stuff, and then all of a sudden they just, stop. Like, and I didn't understand because I know I didn't say nothing wrong or do anything wrong. And hey, I reached out and wanted to know, hey, what was the problem? Did I do anything to offend you? Did I say anything wrong? Because if you feel that I offended you, I will apologize for it. But when you can't, just sit down and talk about it, you're not gonna get to the root to it. And, just going around and everybody tight lips and don't wanna say anything and their nose tooted up. It's just like a bad environment to be in.
and then there's a lot of hearsay. You got people who not even involved in it saying stuff, letting stuff, and you'd be surprised who is and I use the word envious because envious and jealousy is two different things.
Mhm.
It's two, it total two different things. When you envy of somebody, it's like a sickness. No matter what you do or don't do, that person gonna find something to be mad at you for or not talking to you for. When you jealous, you pretty much can either go do the same thing, like okay, whatever, I don't care. But when you envious of somebody, everything that person does irks you.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And they, but they too nosy to delete you, too nosy to do that.
Yeah.
But they keep watching, and they always, and then they're secretly competing with you, or
Mhm.
always trying to outdo you. And then you in a competition you don't even know you're in. You
Yeah.
don't even realize you're in a competition.
Yep. I know with me and my middle sister, we have a really tight bond, and I tell her all the time, "Hey, we can fuss, we can get mad at each other, but I be darned if we live in the same city and can't communicate, can't get together, we're not doing that. We're gonna get together,
Yeah.
we're gonna get to the root of the problem, and we're gonna fix it, and we're gonna keep it going because family is everything. Family is our village. You know what I'm saying? I need my sister just as much as she need me. So I'm not
Mm-hmm.
gonna walk around and just have my nose put up and not talk about her, you know what I'm saying? I'm not finna befriend nobody else to be a sister, and I'm not even, a sister to my sister. And
Right. And you have a
it don't
sister.
make any sense.
I agree because I have three sisters, and I don't talk to any of them. And it's all over. It's old childhood things, and then it's now we adult things just carried over.
Mhm.
And it's like nobody, and like me personally, if you know me, I will try to get along with any and everybody.
Mhm.
I give my last dollar to anybody before I would take it myself if I could. But when it comes to getting that over silly petty stuff, I'm not gonna be bothered.
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you go on about your business, and I'm not gonna bother you. And,
exactly.
and my youngest sister and I used to talk and hang out all the time. Up until like 2 years ago, it was something so simple. I'm like, okay, this is uncalled for, but okay, that's how you feel. That's how you feel.
Mhm.
So I just left it alone.
So basically you set some boundaries. So can you share some boundaries that have worked well for you, like now?
Now is when people do what they want to do, mind your business. Don't try to change their mind. Learn how to mind your business. If it's not if it's not personally affecting you or your life, let it go. Let them do what they gonna do. And people who are blatantly disrespectful in your face. You
Yeah.
cannot talk to me all you want to, but what you're not gonna do is be disrespectful
Mhm.
or whatever. So if you want to stay over on your side, whatever. Like I have a sister-in-law well, ex-sister-in-law who
Mhm.
hates my guts. Hey, that's fine. Just keep your hate over there.
Yeah, most
Don't bring
definitely.
it in. Don't bring it into my face. Keep it over there.
And speaking of boundaries, and you may not believe it, all my life I've always put everybody before me, and I will always
Mm-hmm.
be the last, like all my life. So about what 2 years ago, I joined this mentor group, and I wouldn't call her my friend. I'll call her my sister. Tara Lewis. She's on here now, and she taught us how to set boundaries and to be okay with it. To be okay with people saying no. I mean, people being mean or are they mad or you know getting mad, want to push you out and things like that. And I've just learned that within these last 2 years. So I don't mind telling people no. I ain't gonna do it. I
Yeah,
can't do it. I can't let you borrow it because, people tend to they'll get stuff from you or they'll do something and they'll forget. Like,
yeah. No,
for
no, no.
instance,
They
like
didn't forget. They have selective memory.
yeah,
They didn't forget.
yes. So for instance, like if you borrow money from me and you say, Felicia, I'm gonna pay you back on Friday. Okay, I don't have no problem with it. If I got it, I'm gonna give it. But I should not have to remind you on Friday
Who's
that you
gonna pay
owe
me
me
back?
my money. I shouldn't have to call you. I shouldn't have to text you. I shouldn't have to do that. And I've been burnt so much of that. I do
And nor
not lend
and nor
money.
should they get an attitude because you asked for your money back. You
Yes,
have that
and
same energy that you had when you asked me for it. You
yes,
have that same energy.
Yes, I had somebody call and ask me, "Well, can I borrow $100 to Friday?" And and it wasn't even family. Okay, so today is Wednesday. Why you can't wait till Friday? You'll have it Friday, because 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna have to call and remind you for my money, and I work hard for my money. And
And if
people
they
tend to
is
get
leaning
mad.
right to first, you will lose to credit.
Yeah, and people would tend to get mad because you call and ask about what belongs to you, and
That's
that's
your own
another
money. Hey,
family.
do that. Do better financially. I think families sometimes think that I told you it's that sense of entitlement. Like you have to give it to me. I don't have to give you anything. I get up and go out here 16 hours a day and bust my butt for my paycheck. And
Yes.
do the same thing.
Mhm.
And you definitely better not ask for your money. Not that I don't count nobody pockets. If you're not finna be in no $800 gym shoes and trying to borrow 50 from me, you better go sell them gym shoes. And that's how I
Amen.
feel about
Amen. I
it.
had a
To
conversation
make
with
better
some
financial decisions.
I had a conversation with someone about, just about the way I do things. Like, I've never you've been raised by Mama Lily, I've been raised by Mama Lily. So, I've never been the type to brag. I've never been the type I'm not materialistic. I'm not a showboat. I'm not none of that. Baby, I'm okay with having my scrubs on and my gym clothes every day. I'm okay with that. But just know when I
Yeah,
wanna step out, Imma step out. So I don't feel that I need to prove a point to somebody,
to
and I think
nobody.
a lot of people do things because they feel that they have to prove a point, and it leaves you broken and finances be all out of order just trying to prove a point, just
Because
like my
some
daughter,
people
she
trying to keep up with somebody. You don't know what they doing to have what they got. They could be over there eating ramen noodles every day. You don't know what they're
yes,
doing to get what they have. Mind your business and get
I
what you gonna get.
I had somebody, tell me talking about, "You're a business owner. And why you ain't got a new car yet?" And I just kinda laughed at him and played it off because I don't need a new car. My car is paid for. What I need a new car for? You get what I'm saying?
Hey,
What
let me
point do
tell
I
you
have to
something.
prove to you?
Let me tell you something about that. You ever notice? And this is nothing racist or anything. How white people have a summer home and a nice home or whatever, but they have the oldest car in the world. You know why? Because they don't spend their money on a new car every 3 4 years. They get a car paid off and keep it moving.
Yes.
And
And
that's why it's because you own a business. Maybe you don't want a new car. Maybe that's your car is paid for. You're gonna keep on driving it. You ain't
exactly.
trying to keep up with nobody else. You trying to live and live nicely. Because I say this, I'm not materialistic, but I like nice things. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So the one thing I've always did taught my kids too. If there was a better, it wouldn't be a good. And if it's wait a minute, I gotta get it right now. If it's so good, it wouldn't be a best. And if it was the best, it wouldn't be a better. You might as well buy top of the line from the beginning, because you're gonna end up having to go buy it anyway.
Mhm.
And I admit, two of my daughters actually think like that. I'm like, hey, why would you buy this one for $9.99 when here go a better one for $19.99? You ain't even got to buy it over.
'Cause they wanna
You
save
know, whatever.
$10. That's me. I'll look at the price and I'll be like, "I am not paying this for this." And speaking of finance, I worked for Emma Hospice for, over 10 years, and we was partnered, with this nurse. Her name was Sharon, I never forget. And she was much older, but she just started giving me so much knowledge about finances and how to invest and how to, buy a small property and fix it up and rent it out and things like that. So that's when I
Hmm.
started learning the importance of finances. And still to this day, I'll tell her, I'll be like, "Thank you," because, it takes a lot for people just to share information. And I see a lot of that,
Because
now with
it's like
people.
crabs in the buckets.
Huh?
Yep, it's like crabs in the bucket. You're not gonna have more than me. You're not gonna be doing better than me. That's what
Right,
that is.
and I
Crabs
don't
in the
understand
bucket.
why people is like that, but I guess
I
people
don't
don't.
either. Because
So
I'd rather see somebody doing good or whatever before I would see them doing bad. Then what can I do to help you? I'm gonna help you.
mhm, it's just people just so tight on information and don't wanna share it, but hey, if you're a go-getter like me, you'll get the information regardless. So how can
Yep.
you encourage family members to share their feelings?
But now, to be honest, you have to pray about that because some people are stubborn, and then you have people that are narcissistic. They're never gonna see where they're wrong. And you can come to them talking nice and cool and calmly, and they're going to automatically get defensive. So all you can do is pray for that because everybody's gonna it's gonna be different because nobody want. Some people don't want to hear what they do wrong.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They never think that they're wrong. And like for instance, I commit this. I hate to say I'm sorry unless
Me
I
too.
really did something to bother you. But
Uh,
if I did something, I know I did anything wrong, you can hold your breath till I say I'm sorry, whatever. But
so you
and I,
that's something
and
you
I
need to
try to
work on.
always do right so that I won't have to say I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Because that's a hard thing for me to say is I'm sorry,
Yeah, I think it's
whatever.
hard
But
for
if
a
you,
woman, period, to say I'm sorry.
yeah, I struggle with that. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I didn't learn how to forgive until I was 42 years old. Up until then, you did something to me, you could be on fire and I'm not going to spit on you. But then when I got 42, something happened, and that's when I learned how to forgive. I ain't saying you got to forget, but you can forgive people and you can forgive them from a distance. You ain't got to deal with them no more.
Yes.
And then lately, the past maybe 4 months, I've been
Mhm.
struggling with forgiveness again, and I had to get myself together because I was starting to hold on to things and be upset about it instead of letting it go. So I had to learn. Oh no, you went through all this to learn how to forgive, to go back and fall back into that. So I had to let some things go.
Yeah, and it's unhealthy. It's unhealthy. And I know like
Yeah,
people that has done me wrong try to talk to me and I'll just be looking like I ain't forget what you done to me. I
yeah.
forgive you, but I ain't forget you won't burn me again.
And the one thing you can't do is like you can forgive a person. But you can't let them keep doing the same thing repeatedly over and over and over again because then, like again, you teach people how to treat you by what you allow
I
or whatever.
totally agree.
So if
That's
you nip it in the bud the first time somebody want to get mad and stop talking to you, oh well, okay. Guess what? That sun's still shining when I get up in the morning.
yeah. That's why it's two strikes you out. I'm not gonna allow you a third time to do me the same way. I don't have
Yeah,
time for it. Time is limited. We never know when it's our time to go. So we all need to be around people that appreciate us. So
totally agree. And I think that as we get older, like me at 58, death is
I still
so
can't believe
like.
you 58.
Thank you. Death
That's
is such
so
a part.
shocking to me. You look great.
Oh, thank you, girl. My hair ain't even done, but thank you. But I think death now is a part of everyday life now. It's always somebody dying. When
Mhm.
you like in your teens and your 20s, everybody living large, whatever, if they die, it's something tragic. But now at 58, they either dying from a health issue, or something like that. And you like, wow, you like, dang, they were younger than me, or
Yeah.
or whatever, or something. So it's kind of so you start to see you like differently. Like now, I want to have fun and enjoy family.
Mhm.
So, but what you have to do is sometimes you gotta just because all can't pick family, but you can pick how you deal with them.
Yep.
But if they toxic and they always full of drama, hey, keep that over there. I'm gonna hang with the ones who want to be friendly and love on me and get along or whatever.
Amen. I agree to that. That's why I'm like, for the family that we have that want to get together and meet up and love on each other and hang out and make memories. Let's do it. For the
And
ones that don't, the hell with them. It is what it
that's
is.
right.
We're
Keep
not gonna
keep it
beg people
keep
to,
being miserable over there by yourself. That's what you
yeah,
do. Stay
stay,
miserable.
stay right over there. We don't want nothing to deal with it because
Nothing to do with it.
for years I tried so hard to get everybody together. It was always an excuse. And I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm running myself crazy with trying to get everybody in one place at one time," and just didn't understand, and now I understand everybody got some animosity towards one another, so this
Somebody.
to be around this person. This person don't. Well, hell, let's have a family meeting about it. You can tell me about the problems, but you can't address the problem to that person. That is the
And
problem
guess
there.
what? If you do that and get them in that room and say, "What's the problem?" Hey, ain't no problem. I don't know what's wrong. Then what's all the bad feelings about? And I tell you, do you remember this? This you probably was too young to remember this. When Daddy died, I had to be 20. I think I was 25 because my son was born. When Daddy, I want to say it was Daddy's funeral, and the way that Ernestine and her sisters behaved, oh my God, you thought they hated each other. It was
Really?
so much bickering that you was too young to remember because I was 25. So I think you was a little girl, but you was a little mom. You had to be about 7 or 8.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I don't even remember that.
I'm saying, and they were bickering so much back and forth, like they hated each other. Like, oh my God, really? Or whatever. And that was my ex-husband first time coming down there meeting all of them. And I was like, wow. I said, if I'd have known this, I wouldn't even invited you down here or whatever. And I never forgot that. And I said, this is the importance of teaching your kids how to get along. I said, and this is why we wasn't taught to get along. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like me and my sister, we wasn't taught this because she ain't know no better.
Yeah.
And nothing against Mama Louie, don't get me wrong, because they were all grown and could have did better on their own or
Mhm.
whatever. But when you don't teach it in your household, what they gonna know? They don't know any better.
Yep.
Whatever. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Oh my God. And once I drove through Greenville to my daughter lived in Houston.
Mhm.
And hold on for a minute. It's done.
Thank
And I
you.
drove. Thank you. Bless me. I'm sorry. And I drove through Greenville and I stopped.
Mhm.
Spent the night there because it was still 9 hours of what I've been driving for 14 hours.
Mhm.
And your grandma and Nucci got into it was there having fun, laughing and talking. Went out to the car, next thing you know, they arguing and fighting, slapping each other. Like, oh my God, what just happened? What just happened? They was just in here laughing and talking, and they was drinking and all that. Then all of a sudden, they was outside physically fighting. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is ridiculous. So then we laughed and we drove on
Houston.
to to Houston.
Yeah. Those are some crazy memories. So, Felicia, what advice would you give to someone who's struggling with ongoing family drama? Because I know everybody have drama. But speaking on, let me pause.
Uh-huh.
So I always shout this family out. Always, always. So my son, I have 4 kids. My first son is by someone else, and my last 3 ones about someone else. So my first son, let me tell you something about their family. And still to this day, they welcome me with open arms. Like we're all you're always gonna be family. But that has been one family that's one band, one sound. No matter who get into it, what they're gonna come right back together. And I appreciate, my son getting to experience that because a lot of family don't do that.
Yep. They
When I say
stay mad
stick
for years and
together,
walk around.
they
Yeah.
stick together. Like if you see one, you're gonna see all of them. They're always getting together for family events. They're always checking up on each other, the whole 9 yards. And I just wish that other people that's struggling with, family drama can be that way as well.
I agree. I think that's why, again. I think that comes from never discuss or talk about an incident or harboring envious feelings. I
Mhm.
think that's what that harbors from or
Mhm.
whatever. Because again, like you said, we're all given the same 24 hours a day. You gotta decide what you're gonna do or whatever. It's no different than judging somebody's relationship. You may be good at relationship, I may be horrible at relationships. You know what I mean? But I can't be upset with you because you found somebody that stand by you and support you. But I got somebody that's out here won't work and I'm taken care of. Those are choices. So I can't
Mhm.
be upset with you and every time I see you look you up and down because you think you this and that when I've made the same choice. You know what I mean? And I think it comes from that. and in a sense, mind your business is what you need to do. Mind your business and worry about yourself.
Now you got dang on business, okay?
If you was minding your business, you wouldn't be upset about nothing. You was minding your business.
And
And I
stay out
think
of mine.
yeah, and I think the biggest thing that's selling that is accepting what you can and can't change. And if you can change, you try. But if you can't, you gotta let it go. Accept it and let it go.
Yep, I agree on that. You just gotta let it go. Let it go. Let it be.
That's the one thing I'm learning. Hey, if it ain't because you can't expect you out of other people. You can't expect you somebody to do what you would do. You got to learn how to everybody not you.
Yeah. I totally agree. And I'm like this. Like I feel like this. If I want something done right, I'm just gonna do it myself. Because
Yep,
people will disappoint you. People will
yep.
do stuff on their time and they'll disappoint you. So if it's something that I really need to be done or need to be done, I just do it myself
And I'm
because
glad
I've
you
been
said that
disappointed
because
so much.
yep, we think the same thing because if you don't want to be disappointed, don't depend on nobody.
Mm,
Do it yourself. If you do
do it.
it yourself, you can't be disappointed. You can't be
Yep.
let down.
Because you know it's gonna be done right.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is people need to understand is a difference between being alone and lonely. It's a
Mhm.
huge difference in that. And once you learn that, just because you're alone, don't mean you're lonely.
And I ain't even gonna lie. You know, when I first about I've just now came to a space where I'm okay with going out to eat and doing things by myself and then just enjoying life because I never done that before. So all this was new to me. I always had a partner. And I could truly say these last 4 years, I have learned so much about myself that I didn't know, things that I like to do, with scheduling things, having me time without nobody nagging, and it feels good.
Yep. And you don't always need somebody to be with you. Like I said, I go in my backyard, sit down, cut the radio on, and they just for hours listening to music over and over again, sitting there just listening to it, not even doing anything. And it's peaceful. And
Yep.
I do it almost every day. I go in my backyard and just sit there.
Yep. Yep, I totally agree. I feel like, when God's ready to send me my person and my person only, not sharing a person, he will. But until then, I'm just
Yep.
gonna continue to enjoy, you know,
Life,
single life and
doing
doing
what
what I
makes you
want to
happy.
do. Yep. So
Yep.
looking back, what would you have done differently in handling any of your conflicts?
I
So
will
let's
learn
speak on the
to.
conflicts with your kids about their father. They praise their father and not you. So what is something you coulda did differently?
Back then, I think I could have talked to them and expressed that instead of having hurt feelings and not saying anything about it. I should have talked about it or brung it up, whatever. But or just got to the point where it is what it is and just get over it. But back then, that was hard for me.
Mhm,
You know what I mean? So now I'm learning now that everything you can't change how nobody feel. People feel how they feel. You got to accept it and move on.
mhm,
You know. So that's where I'm at now.
and that's a great
With
place to be.
so
Okay, so
I'm not to say that you don't. Huh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Not to say that you don't like you get over it right away. Of course, you gonna go through the depression, the hurt feelings, the anger. Then once you go through all that, you're like, you know what? Why am
Mhm,
I wasting time
yep,
or whatever? Why? Go do what makes you happy and keep it moving.
and I think a lot of people need to focus on doing what makes them happy. I know, and I can't even lie, with me with being in a relationship, I'm a pleaser, and, and sometimes it's bad. You get what I'm saying? You get people to take advantage of you because you always wanna make things right, and
Yeah.
that's something I had to learn that, hey, it's okay to do the right thing, but just don't go all the way
I
in like
told you, God gave you common sense.
yeah,
Use it.
mhm,
You use
and
it.
I know we've all did some silly things in our life, and
Yeah.
and wish we can go back and fix some things. But
But
hey,
you
learn
can.
from your mistakes.
I swear you are like my carbon copy. I promise you, like my carbon copy.
Hey, people tell me, let me tell you something about me. I love being around older people. So you already know I was the youngest person in the house. So everybody was older. So a lot of people say, "Well, you got an old soul." Yes, because I'm a country girl for one, and I grew up around a whole lot of older people that
Older
poured
people.
so much knowledge in me. And to this day, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I'm out here. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm taking care of my kids. I'm staying out the way and just doing what I need to do.
Yeah. And
So
you know, one of the biggest things I hate to hear people say is that because you were a teenage mother, you wasn't a good parent. I was a mother at 17 years old. You not go age don't have nothing to do with it. That's an excuse. I had a kid at 17, 19, 21. I was 21 with three kids or whatever.
that
And
was
when
that.
somebody say stuff like that, when you was a young parent, that don't have nothing to do with it. You can raise your kids how you see fit,
Yep.
how you want to do it. I don't care how old you are. You can still do a good job raising your kids. Or people who want to break and say women can't raise sons. Oh yes, they can. They can do
Mhm.
just as good of a job as a guy can.
Mhm. And that was a challenge for me with being a teen parent because everybody had so much to say. Like it was so bad. I was like, "Oh my God, what have I done?" But I made myself a goal and I said I will prove everybody wrong. And I
Right.
did just that. You know what I'm saying? My first son, Mystical, the greatest kid ever you can have. So humble, so loving, like that's really my homie. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He went off, he graduated, he got 2 beautiful kids, he got his college degree, he is doing his thing. And so I just had to put it in my mind where no matter what they say, I know what I need to do as a mother, and I did just that. And I can really say, great job, Felicia. You did it.
That's right. Great job. Sometimes you gotta look at what you did. You can't listen to naysayers. You
Mhm.
can't listen to them because like sometimes when my kids going through stuff, I can remember I was young once.
Yep.
I did this whatever. All you can do is listen to them, talk to them. Like there was an incident with my oldest granddaughter. First time she went through a little situation with a boy, whatever. Of course, I wanted to say forget him, this and that. But that's not what she needed to hear at the time. So in the
Mhm.
car, I had to, talk to her was like, hey, thank God God showed you who he was. Everything I need to say to make her feel better. And but in my mind, I'm like, man, forget them. You don't need them. That's what I want. That's what I really wanted to say. But she didn't need to hear that at the moment.
And
Cause
you be
you
like, I know I told my daughter, I said, "You and your feelings about this?" But
right, like you see,
feelings, but you really can't help who you love at the time, and you just gotta go through the motion and just praise God when they come up out of it.
yep, and you get mad. You want to see somebody that you love crying and hurt over
I
some dumb
know.
mess. You really want to do something, but
And
I
she
was
used
like,
to be
no.
like,
Yep,
she would say, "Mom, you just you just don't care." I said, "Look what you were upset for." But I had to really step back and tell myself, "Hey, you was once in that predicament,
yep.
so
So
don't belittle her. She just had to go through it and get through it, and thank God she's out of it."
that's right. Thank God. That's all you can do is thank God for that. And I'll say the last 8, 9 years, I faithfully go to church every Sunday. And I'm in there and I'm listening and I'm learning. And I can say that I'm learning to be a better. I still got a long way to go because let me tell you something. Petty, I could be extra. If you show pettiness towards me, I'm be more petty towards you. And we ain't gonna never say a word to each other, but I'm gonna know what you doing. You gonna know what I'm doing.
Mhm.
And I think I need to work on that because when somebody do something petty to me, okay, that's what it is. All right. And all my kids have telling me like, Mama, you petty. Even my son have said it, and I had to really look at it like all my kids think I'm petty or whatever. But I'm like, no, don't do anything to me, and I won't do anything back to you or
Yeah,
whatever. But I
I
had to
told
notice that. I had to notice and recognize that. You know what? Sometimes I can be because And it's no excuse for it. Because when somebody do something stupid to you, you can even say something like, "Why would you do that?" You know. But then sometimes, and mostly, at least, it's at my job. It's at my job. People are petty. They do little petty stuff. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna argue with nobody. I'm just gonna do. You gonna do this, and I'm gonna do this twice as worse than what you just did. So
Yeah,
I have to work on that.
I think everybody got some pettiness in them because let me tell you something. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When my kid's daddy passed, I had a hit list, like everybody that I was gonna get back with. And one day I had to come to Jesus, and I was like, if I do this to these people, that's gonna take me from my kids. So therefore, I need to sit back and I need to rethink. So what I did was one day I had got a little tipsy and I got a fire barrel out in the back. So all my trauma, all of my everything that I had, I burnt it. And it was just
Mm,
like a weight just lifted up off me.
yep, yep.
So when I see people now that I know that don't like me or done said something, I just smile and keep it going.
Yep, and keep it going. That's what I learned how to do is that, because you can't change or make people act a certain way
You
or
can't.
whatever.
And
And you
I
have to,
never put myself in an environment where I know something is gonna pop off because I
yep,
love my freedom and my kids only got one parent. So I'd be
yep.
darned if anybody take me there to take me
And
away
on
from
top of
them.
that, don't give nobody the power over you. Because
Yes.
if you can see a person and your mood can go from happy go lucky to having a good time to all of a sudden now you sitting there like this, you
Mhm.
just gave that person to control you. Don't give nobody the power over you. Remove yourself from a situation. Just like, you know what? I ain't even gotta do it. I don't even have to be here.
Yep. Yep. So getting ready to end our podcast. So what's one commitment you're willing to make to improve with your family?
It's learning to listen. And when I have a doubt, ask a question, because when I think something is wrong, I just go with what my mind telling me. I'm not gonna ask because I don't feel like I have to ask anybody about what they're doing because
Yep.
they know what they're doing. So I should need to learn how to communicate or at least ask a question. And if I don't want to know the answer, whether I want to know the answer or not, I should still ask. If that person is dear to me, I should still ask the question.
Yep. That's a great commitment, and Imma be checking in on you to make sure that you're doing what you just committed to.
Yeah, I'm.
And there
I'm.
you
That's my goal is to do better
Yep,
than
that's
that.
her goal, you guys, that's her goal. So, there you have it, getting to the bottom of it. So, as always, if you guys haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, Bold and Beautiful Voices, please do so now. Until next time, see you later.
See you later, and I love you, Lisa.
I love you more.